I can't start trying to like catch up right away and all that stuff. Like I just gotta chill.
Yeah, just gotta let it do its thing.
All right, I think we are live. You are looking at, I'll update the board here. You're looking at Slayer and Sleimon screen. This is the matchup of the century. They both did some excellent promo work for this. I really appreciate them both for doing that. Sleimon with some gamemanship already, deleting the messages of Slayer of Gods. I do not like abuse of power, but I think I'll allow it for now. And I think the way we'll rectify this is giving Slayer moderator abilities. I think that's it. So they're now on equal footing. And on call with me today, we've got B, Mick G. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Vega?
This is a good day. This is a really good day. I'm a happy camper. All right, so I will update the scoreboard there with their names, their delightful names.
Nerd saying easy Slayer win.
Easy Slayer win. There will be nothing easy today, my friends. There will be nothing easy today. What's up, PDF? How you doing, Mike? Hey, Naz. Eric's Slayer of Gods himself. Antricus, Zach, Sleimon. Even Nova's in the back. You all can't see her. She's not on camera. I don't have the camera up, but she's in the back. She's cheering. I'm not going to tell you who she's cheering for. I feel like that'd be impartial. I should be impartial, but she's definitely cheering for someone. Vega is happy that a certain clown is talking about making war of it. Is he really? Dude, that's awesome.
That makes me happy, too.
That does make me happy. I'm also happy because I had my first 2 fights of the season. I OP'd up as my war planner. I definitely didn't sit down and quickly rush to get them done before I jumped on stream today. I did many duels, perfecting the art of landing Hercules' heavy into B McG, Uncle Hulk there. Yeah, that's definitely what I did. And warmed up for 30 to 45 minutes of vigorous thumb exercises, heating blankets, tiger balm, the whole thing. Anyways, are they waiting for us to get started?
I can DM.
Yeah, just not, I don't care. I mean, they can take their time. Like, please do not hurry them. In fact, I want to set up a poll. And I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, my first 2 war fights were pretty awesome. I got to use my rank 4 Teddy. Oh, they're going now.
Oh, heck yeah. All right, I'll line up the streams in just a minute. If you all could do me a huge favor and vote in that poll, it would be extremely helpful to me. This would actually be for this is how far in advance I'm trying to plan this stuff, how much fun I'm having. That would actually be for tournament 3. It'd be for tournament 3. It would not even be for tournament 2. All right, it looks like I need to pause Slayer's stream by quite a bit. Are you feeling the same there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'd probably say about 7-8 seconds.
Okay.
Actually, no, a little bit longer than that. Like
yeah,
15.
it looks like maybe even a little more. So I'll wait till that countdown gets down to 13 seconds on Sleimon's. I usually say this to start it off. I'm getting to that point where I just like assume everyone knows everything. That's just not a good point to be. Please take a look at the pinned comment here. Go support both of these summoners. I have a feeling you're subscribed to both of them, maybe, but if you're not, go check them out, support them. I think you'll be really excited with what you see and learn on their channel. They're both great entertainers and highly knowledgeable about this game. And they've been tremendous, phenomenal participants. Phenomenal? I think I added a syllable there. Participants in this tournament, doing everything that's asked of them, using the hashtag, promoting, like the whole thing. They've been fantastic. So please help me thank them by going and supporting them very much. What's up, Nah? Or Nahorn? What's up, Aiden? Easy. Sweeta's even here. Me and Yusuf will probably do our match tomorrow. Love it. Would love to see that. I think it's going to be epic. Sweeta with a tremendous... You've got to see his latest rank up video. A new standard has been reached in rank up videos. I don't think...
hysterical.
It really was. I don't think I can repeat the jokes on my channel anyways. My channel kind of veers a little towards the Disney end of things. But I was laughing my butt off. And I think Sweeta's deck cut significantly more potent for Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it did. So it looks like Slayer learned from his first match, or is this his first match, right?
No, he and I went up against each other.
This is third.
He did a great job. Oh yeah, I got to update the board, the score. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't remember how many matches he's had, but he's banning Rintra.
He that is a genius move. And even if you know how to fight Rintra, you better really know how to fight him. Rintra has been. This could also. It's the Illuminati Invitational. Is this the name of this one? But it could also be called Rintra Rules All.
Yeah. No, he's so tough on defense because at max mystical charges, which is something you don't want him getting.
No.
He has 50% energy resistance and 30% physical resistance. So he's mitigating damage by quite a bit.
Jorge, what's up, buddy? New Doom. I just saw New Doom. You got to check. If you're asking about me, you got to check out my video. I did put out that video today. Still having some fun with those openings. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. B. If you've been, I have not been paying attention to their deck at all. I've been kind of.
Yeah, I've been kind of scrolling through chat, trying to catch up. But,
it's fun to scroll through chat.
So it looks like Slayer started with an Eyehawk defensive pick, and Sleimon started with a Thing defensive pick.
Oh, and we're gonna get to see the rank 4 Moon Knight already. I love it. I love Slayer's outlook on this game, his perspective on this game. I love that he's actually going to use the champion. I can't wait to see how this works out. I have no clue how Moon Knight works, except for that the cycle of the moon somehow comes into play.
Yeah. This should be an interesting one. I know Slayer didn't get to use him in his first match of the tournament, so this should be cool to see.
And I will do my best to call them Slayer and Sleimon. If it can get very confusing if we don't do that.
Yeah, I'll have to remember to do that.
Okay, at the moment, Slayer is doing good damage on that thing. Okay, it looks like he went for maybe a heavy into heavy or something there. That didn't pay off too well.
Mm-hmm.
He's managing the rock stacks. Sleimon does look on pace to finish off that Eyehawk before he gets, was it Gamma, I believe it's called, to go into his Immortal stage. But let's see how that actually turns out. That SP1 will bring him up to 10. So this is a bit of a race, but he's approaching his SP2. This should finish off the Eyehawk before.
Yep, and it did.
Just barely. Just barely. All right.
That was a beautiful fight by Sleimon.
That really is.
Perfect blocks on specials.
To also gain power. He would be gaining power from that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And so we'll let Slayer finish that off. We've got wow, thank you for the support. Super dirty pickle. I feel dirty almost even saying it, but in a good way. Loving the tournament. Vega has so much love. You got that right, my friend. You got that right. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're enjoying this. I just have so many friends who are amazing, amazing players with talent and knowledge to share, to be able to showcase them, and then have people like with these massive channels in there too, who I also am friends with. I realized how that was going to sound. To put them all together in a tournament and show this is my dream. This is my dream. So I'm so glad people are enjoying it. I will update the board here in just a minute. I want to make sure we commentate on this. So Slayer of Gods placing his Emma. She's a pretty good defender in this meta.
Oh no, that was Sleimon, I think, who placed the Emma.
Yeah, I get the boards mixed up so much, guys. I really do. Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're correct.
I get that. It's kind of confusing sometimes when they don't have their face on.
Yeah.
But yeah, just look for the Omega Red with the Diablo glasses. That's Sleimon's screen.
Good point. Good point.
So Herc versus Magneto and CGR versus Emma. This is gonna be an interesting one.
The thing is, the CGR is not going to be able to armor break her, so he's going to have to deal with her in that diamond form until if and when she gets more power than him. I think is the exact way that works.
Yeah, I think it's a bar of power more.
Yeah.
Slayer also looks to have changed his mastery setup.
Yeah.
His first match, he was only running Liquid Courage and not Double Edge.
Yep.
And he's running both now.
Yep. Absolutely. I want to see how much this SP2 does. Without the armor breaks, I just don't think it's going to... That's not nothing, but it's not what we're used to seeing out of CGR.
Yeah.
He actually pulls off 2 backdraft intercepts. Very nice. Gets that nice power gain going.
They're very pretty.
Actually, he may do this. That first SB2 did enough. If this finishes her now, just without that armor break, it's just not the damage we're used to seeing out of CGR. I mean, this is a great performance.
Yeah, he knows how to fight her, it looks like. So
yeah.
That was really impressive.
It really was. I mean, he knew what he was doing, for sure.
Yeah.
It just... And I don't think there's any way he expects Sleimon to take out that Magneto in 45 seconds. That is a rank 4 Hercules, though.
Yeah, Hercules is going to be Hercules, though.
Yeah. Michael, you found a channel at the start of the tournament. Now literally can't wait. Dude, that's awesome. That's how I honestly, that's how I feel too. I was like, I already know who's going tomorrow. Like the whole thing. It's just, I'm so glad people are enjoying it as much as I am. Okay, it looks like one of the streams run into some trouble? Looks like we're all right. I'll update the board now. Okay. I'll update the board. All right, we got super dirty pickle up there now, and I'll up the actual scoreboard. That went 2-0, but it didn't feel like a 2-0. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Slayer actually was very in both of those fights.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple comments there about the 3-star tournament that people would be interested in seeing it. I'm seeing it's actually doing very well in the poll, which is awesome. The second tournament will be full. Well, I don't want to give away too much. But summoners will have in general access to their full roster in the second tournament. I'm talking about the third one, and there's a lot of reasons why I want to put that together. One of them, which is, I have some extremely talented friends that just don't have massive decks. They don't have massive accounts, but they're incredibly knowledgeable players, and they put on a great show. And that just heightened my desire to kind of like cut the blubber out for a tournament. I think that'd be really cool. So don't be too concerned. The next one will have all the 6 stars that we're used to seeing. All right. Any changes? That Iron Doom is showing up there.
Yeah. And he didn't pick him.
He did not pick him.
Slay started with a Thing draft because Sleimon started with the Thing draft because Slayer had issues with Thing in the first match. And then it looks like their drafts have stayed close to the same. Yeah, I hope Sleimon takes Idum so we could see him in action. He's actually pretty decent in this meta too because of armor break immunity via the nodes. And to shut down Tech Doom, you need to armor break him. So,
OG Highline coming in strong. What's up, my friend? Thanks for answering all the questions, no matter how hostile after. For you, my friend, absolutely no problem. Anytime. I always appreciate your tremendous support. B, if you'll take over, you already kind of were doing all of the analyzing as I was doing other things. If you don't mind continuing, I'm going to update the board. Get OG Highline up there.
So Sleimon starts with a Killmonger defensive pick, which I think is a very good pick. And then Slayer starts with Immortal Hulk. And it looks like Sleimon's going to pick Mole Man here, which I think is a very good choice for Immortal Hulk.
It's almost funny.
Slayer...
Go for it. No, please go for it.
Slayer picks Killmonger, or CGR for Killmonger. But what were you going to say?
I feel like you're doing the same thing I know I'm doing. I'm used to almost basically calling them both Slay.
Yeah.
I do tend to call Slayer of God Slayer, but still. Yeah. And it does create confusion. It actually created confusion in conversation the other night when we were talking about this matchup. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually call Slay, or Sleimon Slay, and then Slayer.
Interesting that Sleimon did not try to build up a few more charges. It seems like he's pretty confident he'll get this Hulk down in the charges he built up, being he triggered Frenzy intentional Oh, he's just gonna heavy to get more, so he knows what he's doing there.
Yeah. He wanted to get into it as early as possible, it looks like, just so he can start dealing as much damage as possible to Immortal Hulk. But it looks like Hulk will go Immortal at the 1% mark.
Yeah, he's doing his job, and that's what he's supposed to do.
Yep.
As Sweet has pointed out, we were talking about, though, CGR at this meta. And remember, this is that bulwark, explosive personality. That is what friendlies are running. He just can't land the armor break, and that is a big part of that tremendous damage we see him doing.
Yep.
So this fight,
and Killmonger just decks that special too.
Yeah, that's I think Sleimon has points in Dex plus. You know, some summoners have Limber plus. Yeah. Sleimon, because of his BG skills, has Dexterity plus as a mastery.
Yeah, and Slayer looks like he knew that would be it.
Yeah, I think he knew. Meta, does Slayer of Gods know there's no armor break? I'm sure he does. I think this is just, that's who he's comfortable with. That's his R4. Yeah. You go in with your boy. And I like it. I got to be honest. I like it. At least in my matchups, I tend to try to stick with who I'm comfortable with if I think they can get the job done. As soon as I start going out of my comfort zone, I get out of my wheelhouse, as they say, things get uglier than they normally do when I play. What's up, LC? How you doing, my friend?
And to be fair, CGR put up a 50-second fight versus Emma Frost with armor break immunity. So that's pretty impressive in my opinion.
It really is. I've been taking her out when I see her. I've traditionally used my... I have a rank for Omega Sentinel, who's not usually the fastest champion anyway, but you would think she would dominate that fight, and she does. I don't know if I'm doing it that fast, though, as fast as Slayer did it with his CGR. So it kind of shows you... He did really well. He's just up against a freight train right now.
Yep.
I actually think Slayer's got a shot on this one, and I'm curious to see if he pulls this off. I think prompts will play a role as far as the prompts mojo gets. The use of special attack came up. That's no good.
Yep, and he knows to play slow against Mojo while his life fields or death fields up when he has a buff on him.
Yep. So can you explain that a little bit to the folks at home? I know what you're talking about, but he had the dexterity buff up, and what you meant by playing slow.
Yeah, so if Mojo has his death field up, or whatever you call it, the anti-life field, if you have an active buff on you, which is the precision from Dex, which is indefinite unless you hit the opponent to make it expire, you'll degen yourself. And wow, Slayer won that round. That was really impressive. That
really was. And there was, I really wanted B to explain what he was saying, because B was pointing out a really nice show of knowledge, game knowledge and awareness that Slayer pulled off there. It was important. And without that, I don't know how that matchup goes.
He wouldn't have won if he did not play slow, because it was that close. It was a 300-point difference, less than a 300-point difference.
So now it is 1-1 in the second round here. Let's see who comes away with this. If Slayer gets a win, I think it's really going to change the dynamic of this. I think it'll shift some momentum, and we'll see some other things come into play. So I really think this is going to play a large role in how far this matchup goes. Zach Richards, thank you so much for the support, my friend. I always appreciate it. Supporting as a member and donations. Thank you so much. I hope you're really enjoying this tournament, buddy. If you have any questions, make sure you let us know. I think this one may be very, very close too. Elsa, we've seen her put up a lot of damage. I want to see how comfortable he is with Elsa versus Thing managing those rock stacks.
Mm-hmm.
Thing made that very difficult on him with that block baiting dance that he's doing there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like Hercules is just gonna Hercules.
Yeah. And I don't want to take anything away from Sleimon. He is tremendous with his Hercules. He's got a weapon and he knows how to use it.
Yeah. I agree there. But a 34-second fight in the bulwark meta is very fast.
He even triggered it on the SP2.
Yeah. I do think Slayer putting Elsa in his deck is kind of scary. I'm not sure how many mutant champions Sleimon has, but that's almost a guaranteed KO if you place her on defense and they don't have a mutant character to counter her due to her interaction with the double-edged mastery.
You know, I forgot about that. Did he being Slayer even have a mutant in his deck? Did Sleimon have a mutant in his deck?
Yes.
If Slayer, he did.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did Archangel.
He was prepared for it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because if Archangel wasn't there, Slayer could have thrown that Elsa on defense, and it would have been pretty much an easy round for him.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Baden? If I didn't see you, or Meta, I think I'm saying hi to people twice now. Captain Easy, how you doing? Doug, I truly mean this. Is not part of the joke, although I am loving the joke. I will be finishing EQ hopefully tonight. We'll see. I keep saying that's going to happen, and it doesn't. And Scorpion, I believe, will be my next Star 4.
Awesome, dude. That makes me happy to hear.
Yeah. Oh man, they're both. We're having a little difficulty with both their streams. Let's just let them. Yeah, let them play out.
Yep.
They'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't cut out at all, so it's not your Wi-Fi.
No. That was a lot of no's. Sounded like I was kind of rapping for a second.
Yeah.
Mr. Fernandez, I stopped by to be disappointed in Slayer. Yeah, we have a big Sleimon fan there. Jason Fernandez loves his Sleimon. So I'm watching this because I will be going up against Sleimon next week, and I now need to win. I think I got my butt kicked. I think I feel comfortable saying that. I'm happy with the showing I eventually put on against MP Blaze. Blaze is a better player than me, and that's okay. I'm comfortable with that. But now I need to beat Sleimon, and I think I'm going to be banning his Hercules and his Omega Red after watching this.
Yeah. That's smart.
OG Highline, would your boy Slam play? You know what? He might not be playing till next week. Both he and his opponent Nahorn both had some difficulties with this particular week. It felt like the right thing to do was to allow them to get their matchup in a little bit later next week. I know that's going to be a bit troublesome for some people and some viewing, but they've committed to getting it done. So they might not be playing till actually next week, even though it is their week 2 group play. The good news is that means you'll get 2 SAM tournament performances in 1 week. So there's a positive. There's a silver lining. Sweeta, I beat Sleimon in a friendly the other day. Does that mean I proceed in the tournament if he does? I'll see if I can work that into the rules somehow.
I'm really liking both their defensive drafts so far.
Yeah. So, like, as you guys see, Slayer is showing and demonstrating tremendous game knowledge and skill. His deck just isn't as big as everyone else's. And that's part of my motivation for the 3-star. He's been so phenomenal. I already liked the guy. I enjoy his channel. And then having this experience with him and working as closely as I have with him on this tournament has furthered my desire to be like, let's do a 3-star only or something like that. And so I'm happy to see so many people saying they would be interested in seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give people plenty of time because not everyone has their 3 stars ranked up.
Yeah.
Like even the like that 5-star APOC, great champion, totally get it. You could use him to clear Grandmaster's Gauntlet and other things. Against Sleimon's deck, what's the 5-star APOC really going to do?
Yeah. Yeah, for what it's worth, though, the composition of his defensive picks, I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
Despite the lower rarities. So he starts with a Thing defensive pick. I'd assume Sleimon is going to pick Falcon to counter that.
Well, I asked what he would do with his 5-star APOC, and it looks like we're going to find out.
Yeah, I think we saw a match like this in his first match of the tournament. Love seeing Sleimon interrupt the heavy attack by Thing on the after the second hit, because it's a lot faster than waiting for the third hit to miss.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to get this fight down in less than 40 seconds, potentially. It depends on how quickly Thing throws a special.
Yep.
And he threw it right away.
Yeah.
Less than 40 seconds. Okay, then.
Yeah, 56,000 points.
That's a 29-second fight. I don't know what else to say.
Pretty decent for what it's worth.
Yeah.
It's a lot faster than I thought the 5-star Apocalypse would be. It's getting some nice intercepts there.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's playing phenomenally.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, that's just him trying to hurry. He knows he's got to hurry. That's just trying to hurry, taking chances he knows he wouldn't normally do. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Sleimon is running like 120 mastery points. DLL approved it. Yeah, that's how he gets things like Dexterity Plus, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Clown, Mr. Fernandez has purchased Limber Plus. Yusafa has too. It's just how it works, meta. It's the new way for whales to get ahead.
Yeah. It's one of those hidden things that you have to spend a certain amount to get.
Yeah. When you have to like unlock the option to do it. It's like buying multiple mastery sets for Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it's the exclusive club of MCoC.
What's unfortunate is there's going to be a couple of people who think we're being serious. PWF, Slay running 200% boosts, only Mega Whales get those. You know it. I haven't even unlocked that. I'm still at just 100% boost. APOC just a bit slow, especially for Pork. Yeah, Captain Easy, that's... I was banning an APOC, I don't remember what match that was, but it was someone. And it was more just because of they've been a bit chunky on defense, but it was a 6-star rank 4. It's very different.
So Slayer using Spider-Ham, I believe Spider-Ham was one of Slayer's first rank 3 6-stars.
Mm-hmm.
This will be interesting to see if he works for Thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know he can work, but...
Yeah. I think he's... Well...
Yeah.
Yeah. It can work for sure. There's a couple oddities there I think working against you is that I think you have the increased chance to land your poppers when the defender is stunned. But then if he throws his SP1, he's going to land a taunt. And I think there's just a lot to manage there, especially to try to get it done quickly. That being said, he's got him at almost 50% health with 30 seconds left. So,
yeah. I think Sleimon thought he was 100% safe here.
Yeah.
Because Slayer still is Warlock for defense. And Hercules is probably his best counter there.
Yeah, so Sleimon went for the finish this whole thing here. Yep. Trying to win it in 2.
He bet on himself.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to work out for him.
Yeah.
Do you think either of these guys will want to be on call afterwards?
I'm sure both of them would.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thanks for the likes call out, guys. Yeah, any support is appreciated. Especially if it's genuine, if you actually are enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, as a spectator, I kind of was hoping Slayer would get that second one. I was hoping for. It's just better spectating, but they both put on a tremendous show. All right, so that'll do it. Sleimon takes a commanding lead in Group A. In Group A, which is the group that has myself, MP Blaze, Sleimon, and Slayer of Gods. Sleimon is 2-0. The issue for him is he's got to face me next week with my deck and my defense. Could be a problem. Could be a problem. We'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to it. MP Blaze 1-1, and he'll be going up against Slayer, who's now 0-2. It would take some chaos and take a little luck on my side, but there is the chance of a 3-way tie in that group, in which case the amount of rounds, basically we're breaking them down into rounds of 5. Won and lost will be the tiebreaker. So should be interesting. And Sleimon should be good there, because even if somehow he loses to me, he beat the other two guys both 3-0. So he's basically, like, if you think about it, he's +6. And MP Blaze beat me 3-2, but he lost 0-3 to Slayer, so he's -2 right now. And I think I'm even, because I took out Slayer 0-3, but lost to Blaze 2-3. So I'm actually 6-2. So I'm +4. Is my math correct on that? I think it is. That made sense, didn't it? Yeah.
I was just messaging Sleimon.
Yeah. Yeah, Slay put on a great performance. What's up, Ricardo? Sergio, Aiden, how can I join the Discord? Let me see if I can get an invite, buddy. I'm not doing my hosting stuff at the moment, so I actually can a little more easily do that. And I think we may have some people joining the call. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like Sleimon just joined. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
It's going well. How about you guys?
Good.
I saw the comment. After the match, I went to look through the chat and it was absolutely hilarious. I'm sad I missed it.
What? Yeah, go for it.
So no infamous Iron Man picks at all. Any reasoning on that?
Yeah, I don't. He's just not fast, and there's nothing really I needed him for. That's I know I'm not trying to be the hype killer here. Infamous Iron Man's a great champ. I just don't think he's like a BG's champ, if that makes sense. Like for Bishop, he can nuke Bishop in like 30 seconds off 1 SP2. But outside of that, it takes a lot of time, and I'd rather not use them. I have my attackers that I know are going to work, and rather use them.
You say he's a little slow. For those of us who are a little unfamiliar with how he works, like me, is that due to prowess? Like he needs to counteract prowess?
He doesn't even really counteract prowess. How he counteracts prowess is if they gain more than one at a time, he turns them to energy vulnerabilities. But like most of the mutant class gains 1 prowess at a time. Outside of Bishop, Storm Pyramid X sometimes is a bit odd. So the champs that he can, like a champ like Bishop, if you can put a lot of energy vulnerabilities onto him and then just throw an SP2, the fight's over. But mainly what you want to do is normal rotation for these type of health pools, which is go to the SP3, and that takes a long time, and then you got to throw 2 SP2s, and that'll usually end the fight.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I have no knowledge on what's coming to the game, but we saw Nimrod come to the game, one of the first tech champs to remove prowess from champions, and then we saw Sauron and Toad come to the game after that. So I wouldn't be surprised if some mutants come out sometime next year who can gain multiple prowess effects at once.
Yeah, no, yeah, obviously. He may not be a champ for right now, but he's probably going to be a champ for later. It's the same thing with Hulkling, or sorry, not Hulkling, with Rintra. Rintra came out, and then Gallon came out, so stuff like that is bound to happen.
Yep.
I'm trying to get Slayer the correct role right now, so if you guys can, again, continue the interview, I'd appreciate it.
If you want, we could hop into the second, the new chat.
We had some issues with that already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You would think
this one then.
Yeah.
You drafted Thing every single match, I believe. That was obviously intentional, right?
This first match, I was sort of feeling out Slayer. I was like, okay, what can this guy not fight? And both of us can't fight Thing apparently. So I drafted Thing a bit. And it's not that he can't fight Thing. Sorry, that may not have been the right word. But I was winning the round, so I thought might as well just keep doing it. If it's not broke, don't fix it or something. I forgot the saying.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what it was.
And I noticed you're also banning his stealthy. That was likely because that was one of his few Thing counters, correct?
I didn't think of that. No. I was I
thought you were being big brain there.
I genuinely didn't even think of that. No, I was banning stealthy because stealthy is very good in Battlegrounds. I'm like, because I've seen Nerd take everything under the sun with stealthy. So I'm like, okay, I don't want him to have access to that attacker that I don't have access to, so I'm going to ban stealthy. In hindsight, I probably would have left him open if I knew he had recoil. But at that point, I'd already won a game. I was like, you know what? If it's working, why change it? So.
Yeah, see, I thought that was a calculated ban.
I was never going to use stealthy, so
I should have pretended like it was a calculated ban. That would have made me look really good, but it wasn't.
What was I gonna say? Slayer, you got to use Moon Knight this time around. Was that any fun? Because I know the first match you didn't get to use him. You're kind of bummed out about that.
I mean, if I wasn't using him against Thing and I also didn't decide to suck at the game in that moment, then yeah, that would have been fun. I'm just kidding. Of course it was fun. Yeah. Great. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. As soon as I heard he has 11 rank 4s or something, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start trolling. Just kidding. I knew I had a chance. No, but it's kind of the same thing as my matchup against Vega last week. As much as I can say you had a clear roster advantage over me, I didn't lose because you have a bigger roster. I lost mostly because of my lack of game knowledge. Actually one of the biggest blunders that I noticed was when I was fighting that one Thing with Elsa, and I parried while he had 15 rock stacks, and then she auto attacked him.
Yeah, the evade.
Just tiny things like that just screwed me over completely. That I just wasn't thinking about. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, this game has too much stuff in it, So
that's something I said. I was like, I'm kind of glad I don't play at this level. And I have to consider every single tiny thing. It just seems way too stressful.
Yeah. By the way, we need a War Planner Slayer in case you're interested.
Vega.
Okay, well.
Vega, do you have any questions?
Yeah, actually, so I do have one for Slayer. Slayer is one I really I was talking about earlier in the stream. Obviously, you weren't able to hear it, but how much I appreciate the way you've been throughout this whole tournament. You've been the ideal contestant as far as the person who's putting it on. You've been promoting the whole thing. You're out there having fun. You're giving it your best. You're doing a tremendous job. You communicate great. Literally everything I could hope for. And I love that you come on and you give your opponent credit. You talk about no, you do. You come in and you're like, look, obviously my deck has me at a slight disadvantage. Also, my opponent really knows all these things. So that. So now here comes the question though, is you're talking about game knowledge and you're pointing out the things that you didn't know or you made a mistake on. And I think that's very humble of you, and I appreciate that too. But we also spent probably about 3 minutes of this stream pointing out that when you took out that Mojo with your Black Widow Deadly Origin, you made an incredibly smart play where you had dexterity on you, but you waited out. I can't think of what Mojo calls the death field or something like that.
Yeah. Basically.
Fart field or whatever.
Yeah, his green fart field of disgustingness. Was that something from like experience, or did you just in the moment like remember that? If you could talk to us a little bit about that.
I had like a flash of PTSD from every time I used it was definitely from experience, and not from a good one. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna wait for a sec. I'm dumb and I like using CGR against Mojo, so
Yeah.
that's the thing as well.
Well, that waiting there was what won you that match, or
Yeah.
the round, or whatever you want to call it.
It
Because
absolutely did. Yeah.
if you tried to go in and take out Mojo as fast as possible, you would have been down 1,000 points due to the health lost. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool on your part. And then we were also going about the CGR versus Emma Frost fight. It looked like you had done that one before.
Yeah, a bit more worrisome because of the armor break immunity. I think I've been underestimating the armor break immunity, especially when I fought that Killmonger. That definitely screwed me over.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to that. It's like that's textbook for me. Like, okay, CGR Killmonger, easy, but then it's like, oh, he's armor break immune, he can reverberate. Or same with Emma, because it's like, oh, you can't really break her diamond form. Like she's, I don't know.
But it did look
just
like every specialty you launched, she was out of her diamond form, because it looked like you had been timing where she would be at in terms of power.
Yeah, I
when
tried
you
to time it to where she would have special one once I dropped below my special, once I threw it. It's just kind of the timing I like to have with that. There was a little bit of thinking going on there. That's about as far as that went. Armor break immunity, just the worst meta for me. Absolutely. It nerfed me to the ground.
So there's a question for both of you, and we'll let Slay go first here. Is obviously you guys were unaware, but I ran a poll during this contest, this matchup between you two. And
Which Slay is going first?
That's you are Sleimon. We've been actually doing that. We probably sound like we have a little bit of a speech impediment, both me and Miki, because we're like Sleimon, like just to kind of help. Anyways, point of the story is the poll was: are you interested in seeing a tournament with only 3-star champions? Cut out that whale blubber. I was a little concerned that first I have 2 questions for you. 2, Sleimon, go first. One is what percentage of the answers do you think said yes, they do want to see that, and would you be interested in competing in it?
Okay, if I was to guess, I think 79% of people said yes. This is kind of a number that was rolling around in my mind.
Yeah. All right, Madam Cleo.
Was I close?
Yeah, we'll find out. I want to let Slayer answer too.
Okay. Oh yeah, fair enough. And yeah, that sounds extremely fun. What's nice about only 3-star rosters is that it puts everyone on an even playing field when it comes to roster. Arguably the biggest variable when it comes to BGs. Now, outside of the tournament, I mean, we could do 2 tournaments, or one with 3 stars, one without it. I mean, outside the tournament, I love to use my whole roster because, I worked really hard for it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's certain times where, I think that would be extremely fun. And I was honestly going to ask Slayer if you wanted to do a 3-star only tournament. I was thinking about it, because I saw the title to his stream, and I was like, oh, versus Slay Mega Whale. So I assumed that he kind of forfeited already, so he's making excuses. So I would have loved to challenge him to a 3-star only.
Okay.
BGs. Obviously, everything I said there was a joke. I think Slayer's an amazing competitor.
Yeah, they're friends.
And I was saying it on my stream, if you guys were listening, like don't count him out. Like I wasn't counting him out either.
Yeah.
And I was trying to play as seriously as possible. So yeah.
Yeah, you didn't seem to be holding back.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, and it's not because like we have beef or anything, because I'm pretty sure people think we do, which is gonna be hilarious. But we don't. But it's because I was taking you seriously, bud. Like I'm not gonna come into a competition and not take someone seriously, because that's just disrespectful.
We do have beef though, like we do.
Yeah, we do have beef. Yeah.
Is it Rintra? Is it Rintra based?
I banned Rents for like every time.
If
That was
anyone,
like the least funny thing I heard today, Vega. Come on.
God, I'm
No,
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. I'll try to do better. I will. What's
I
up?
just got that.
Thanks for the karate raid. And so, Slayer of Gods, same question to you. I guess the answer's already out. How many of the poll answers said they would be interested in seeing it? Which is
Wait, was I right?
It was 79. You are
Wow.
totally a psychic. Would you be interested in participating in something like that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's
Okay.
something I brought up during my stream. A lot of my viewers seemed interested in that as well.
Okay.
It'd be pretty cool. Because it would also like, I feel like a tournament like that could be a lot bigger than like 30-something people as well. Like I feel like
Ooh.
it would attract a lot more of the community. I don't know, like how that would work, but you know,
Yeah.
I think it would be a lot more accessible.
I have to say, I already have. I heard a lot of feelings. I didn't mean to with this single tournament with all the people I did not invite, and
Right.
and so now obviously not everyone needs to do the tournament the way I did it. We don't have to do the group play and all that stuff. It's just the style I want to do. I kind of want to do this massive thing. Tournament 2 will not be the 3-star tournament. It will be big, and I think the viewers are going to love it. Some of the contestants might not like certain portions, but they'll get over it. And then the third tournament is after this response from the poll answerers. I feel confident that tournament 3, as far as the ones I'm putting on, will be a 3-star only, and I want to give contestants a tremendous amount of time because I know I have friends. I think even Nerd himself said that he would need time to rank up his 3 stars because that's not something he's been focused on. So I'd want to give everyone plenty of forewarning time. So this, to me, selfishly, this is awesome to have the two of you say you'd be interested in it and to have the poll show overwhelming support for it. So keep an eye out for tournament 3 to be 3 stars. I didn't mean that to happen, but it did. All right, and then let's get back to the matchup that I had. That was a great matchup. That was phenomenal. B, do you have any other questions for them?
No, I pretty much asked everything I wanted to.
Okay. Let's start with Slayer. Do you have anything that you would want to say or get out there or say to Sleimon?
I mean, thanks for inviting me. I'm kind of sick right now. I was a little bit grumpy during my stream. I mean, eventually I started just being like, having fun with it. I don't know. Like I appreciate it. It was fun. I'm excited if I am in future ones, I'm excited to get my ass kicked some more, or maybe I'll actually get better at the game, and my roster will increase, especially with all the new stuff getting announced and whatnot. That'll be interesting. Yeah, Slay, good fight. I don't really have any remarks right now, but I'm sure I'll tweet them at you.
Expect the Twitter war tonight.
Oh yes, yeah. Everybody, get ready. Turn on notifications for that.
Just before we let Slay talk, Slayer, you will definitely be invited 100% into future tournaments. There's just no way that I know the guy who runs the invites, and he loves you. So, Sleimon, what about yourself?
I just wanted to say, thanks for everyone for coming out. Again, the most fun part of these is the community. And we wouldn't be here doing this partly without you guys. It's really fun to watch other people battle. It's also really fun to look through the comments after a stream and see all the funny things people are saying about you and cheering you on, or making fun of you dying with the champion that you're apparently best with. So yeah, that was extremely fun. What I wanted to say to Slayer was that, hey man, you're awesome. We should continue this fake beef because I think it's extremely entertaining. You have really pretty eyes, and I wish you the best in future tournaments and hope to see you there.
Yeah, I hope we get to fight again.
I couldn't say that with a straight face, man.
You guys I'd love to have you guys just hang out on call if that's what you want to do. I know everyone's got stuff to go. I'm open to doing a few friendly matches on stream, just kind of hanging out for anyone that would like to do that.
I think Slayer really wants to match you.
Yeah, I need to get my ass kicked again.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think you're only allowed to nominate yourself. You're only allowed to nominate yourself. So let's keep it at that.
I want to address a comment because I know you won't, Vega.
Yeah, what's up?
Someone is saying that they heard folks that are upset that it's called the Vega tournament, and
Yeah.
they're suggesting maybe having a name change.
Okay.
And I don't think you should.
Yeah.
This tournament, most of the work, if not all of it, is done by Vega. He's done all the setting up. He's been getting all the infographics done, been reaching out, coordinating with everybody, streaming watch parties, making sure it's entertaining for everybody else. It would make no sense to call it something else.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I feel like this is the appropriate time for me to announce an official name change, though, because I have given it a lot of thought. And it is now the Vega Battle Vega Tournament of Vegas going at Vega. So I hope everyone likes the new name. Yeah, I don't know. If someone's offended, I don't know. I'd love to hear the rationale for it, just because I think that'd be pretty funny. But to me, that sounds like hearsay too. And I'm not a lawyer, but I used to dabble in one. I used to pretend to be one. And anytime someone says, "I heard that someone else said this thing," there's a reason why they don't allow hearsay in the court of law. So I'll worry about that if and when it happens.
Yeah, and I wasn't pointing out anyone specific because they said they heard that from other people.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone in the chat thinking I'm trying to like poke at you guys, but
No.
if you heard it from other people, talking to the other people.
Yeah, no. In all seriousness, what I think probably happened, it's like that game of telephone. Where one person says something and then it says to another, and then it gets really changed from the original message. I have a feeling what happened is someone overheard Aiden or Nerd say that the tournament that they're hosting on my server, and they're just such respectful guys. They're both so awesome. They called it like the Vega server battleground tournament. And totally inadvertently, I know no one was intentionally doing this, but some people accidentally used the logo for this Vega Battlegrounds championships.
Yeah.
And I got a couple questions that showed people were a little confused as to which one they were watching. And so I talked to Aiden and Nerd and said, like, hey, I think you guys should be getting credit for this because I'm aware of how much time this takes. And two, just to avoid confusion between the two of them, I think you should update the name. And I've actually heard Aiden and Nerd publicly say that now a few times. So I think someone probably heard that.
Yeah.
And then it, it just got, the game of telephone happens, right?
Yeah.
And you sent me a friend request the other day. I know you did, because on stream I told you I didn't have the time, but I thought I saw that this morning or sometime recently. I wasn't friend with Meta. What is going on with me? That is ridiculous. Let's do one. Let's do a matchup. And I really did get in my war fights, or two of them anyway.
Oh yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, it's back.
I'm so stoked for these fights that I have.
Who are you getting to use?
I have rank 4 Teddy, rank 4 Overseer, and rank 4 Rintra.
Oh shoot, was it in this chat? Was someone in this chat asking if they should use their Awakening gem on Teddy? If you're still here and you ask that question, please ask it again. This is reminding me there was something I wanted to answer, and I forgot now. Oh shoot, I feel badly about that. Where's my boy Lemmy?
I'm pretty excited about my war as well. I'm getting to use Infamous.
Are you really?
Awesome.
Already?
Yeah. Nick Fury on No 22. He's Hazard Shift, Shock, and Incinerate. So.
Let me see. I'm trying. You're coming online now. All right, cool, buddy. Get online, and then I can never remember how it works, like who invites first and places. I'm happy to invite first or not or whatever's fine. Not naming names, but the tuber very specifically said it. Forget it. No worries, dude. No worries, man. It's honestly all good. There's no YouTube drama here. Quick question: can Spidey 99 take 6.1.2 Ultron? I have no clue because I don't remember. Does anyone remember 6.1.2 Ultron?
That's the EMP mod one, right?
I seriously have no idea.
I think
I haven't even explored Act 6.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
I'm sorry.
Wait, really? Oh.
I'm sorry that we're this this not helpful, but there's 4 of us on call, so that shows you like how long ago it probably was for all of us.
well, there's definitely EMP mod on it, so I'm guessing he can take that aspect of the fight. I just don't know what else he has.
Yeah, I'll pull up the fight in game so I can see what the nodes are. I cannot. I'm in the middle of an Act 8 quest.
There's like a Sentinel before it too, right?
Yeah, the Sentinel has, I believe it's Biohazard, because I took it with Omega once.
Act 6 got nerfed twice, so I can't reliably use my memory when it comes to that.
I think Spidey's 99 should be fine for it. Yeah, MP and Spite. Yeah, he counters both those nodes, so you should be good.
Yeah, whatever, man. Don't even sweat it. Let's just have fun and play. And if you hopefully you get to watch it later, and hopefully kick my butt. It'll be good. Anyone not streaming want to get a friendly down that way? I don't look like a total fool in front of everyone. OG highlight. I think I'm gonna get Meta in next. Did Meta want a match? I saw the friend invite.
Meta was hilarious yesterday. He accidentally put AA on defense, and he won that round against me.
Nice.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, watch out for his strats, is what I'm saying.
He's got big brain strats.
Mm-hmm.
I had to fight Sauron. I was on stream. I was just doing a testing stream. Like I actually said, like I just used some random thumbnail, and I was like, "Do not pay attention to the thumbnail. Purely testing stream." And I just wanted to kind of test to try to figure out some of the issues we've been having with the stream, and it ended up turning into like a hour and 30-minute Ask Me Anything. Legacy and DLL joined, and we just started talking about like 7 stars and Ascension. It turned into a really cool stream. Why am I telling you guys this story? There was a point. At some point, Legacy and DLL, I was like, I actually kind of I need to get I still haven't even finished the event quest, and so they were on, and so it was in EQ, and I ended up having to fight a Sauron without my Nimrod or my Omega Sentinel, and I realized I have no clue how to fight him, like none, without one of those 2 champions. Would the new Iron Doom be able to take him? Like manage his prowess and all that?
It doesn't manage his prowess at all.
It doesn't?
Because he gains it 1 at a time. Anyone can tank Sauron. He's like a Weapon X in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Where he doesn't really have any mechanic that doesn't allow you to take him outside of your own prowess with any champion. That's basically.
Yeah.
So what's the strategy then? Educate me.
You just sidestep all his mediums, and you should be able to dex his SP1. Outside of that, don't use someone that bleeds him, and he's poison immune. So.
Well, you made that sound awfully simple.
Takes a bit of practice.
Yeah, he's like a mutant ebony maw, if that makes any sense.
I'm having trouble connecting that to what Slay just said about sidestepping and things. So I'm not, I'm not trying to poke fun. I'm more just trying to understand.
I was more speaking in terms of like defender strength.
Okay. I gotta learn, because I'm sure that at some point I'm gonna end up fighting him and having no clue how to take him, and I'm not gonna have my Omega Sentinel or my Nimrod.
Yeah, I'm ranking him up now as you said that.
Good. That's what I was hoping for. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, Sauron just has like punishing defensive mechanics if you aren't ready for it. Like is unblockable when he reaches a certain amount of prowess, I believe.
I honestly, yeah, that's my sense. I've always just tried to keep his prowess under control.
Yeah.
Omega Sentinel does seem to work fine against him, and she doesn't remove prowess though.
Your favorite champ, Captain America, Sam Wilson, works well for him.
Yeah. But that means I have to have him on my deck. So. You know what it is with him? It's like we'll often talk about like expectations. And I had, I think, unreasonable expectations of what I hoped Kabam would do with him.
Yeah, I think I was the same with Tech Doom, if I'm honest. I saw Doom. Well, I didn't see Doom in the name, but like we know it's Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting Doctor Doom as a tech champion, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was expecting a little bit more than what he was.
You know what's
And that
also
isn't a shot at any designer, because I think you know, they put their heart and soul into it. I don't want to be mean.
And I think they definitely don't want to make another Doom. Like I think that's actually like I picture that being up on their like company walls. You know, like how some companies are like, it's been 100 days since the last accident. I feel like in the like champion designer rooms, they're like, don't make Doom, don't make Hercules. You know?
Yeah, I was thinking like I just think they overcompensated for that fact. I think they were like, okay, we made Doctor Doom. Whatever we got to do, let's not make this guy again. And then they went like, and they overcompensated that for Infamous Iron Man. I could get into if you want me to explain why I think that. I'm happy to.
I would like it. My dog is asleep. You can see her in the back there.
I put her to sleep, didn't I? I'm sorry.
And she is dropping bombs, dude. It smells so bad here. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Woo! I'm glad that you guys can just hear me and see me. It is rough right now.
Righteous.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I don't know if you guys saw, like about 2 minutes ago, I just turned around and looked at her like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
I was like, did she wake up or something?
No, she's paying. She's like, you're gonna make me sit on this bed for an hour? I'll pay you back. Oh yeah. So I'd love to hear the you're not really down on Iron Doom. You're just saying he's not.
I'm being really cautious right now.
You also don't have yours awakened, right?
No, I don't have mine awakened. But I don't think his awakening serves the purpose that I'm going to make with my point right now, if that makes sense.
Let's see. Let's hear. I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. So one of the things that really irks me about Infamous Iron Man is that the second you armor break him, the second you nullify his personal armor up, he loses literally everything. Now, there's nothing wrong with this until you take a look at it closer. Like for example, Rincha, right? When you go against a champ who can't have their ability accuracy reduced, he loses everything. That's fine, right? Because he didn't have any other counters before. Now, if you look at the trends of the
you
tech
lost
class,
me. Not that you didn't make sense. I think I skipped a step in the logic. Can you start off back at like the ability accuracy in Rincha?
Okay, when a champion is ability accuracy reduction immune, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Mysterio, Archangel, Tigra, and Rintra are completely useless. You know, Archangel, if you go against a bleed immune, he's completely useless, right? It's okay to put those type of things in the game to balance the game. That's not necessarily where my gripe with Tech Doom is. The issue is that I just don't think they followed the trends of the tech class when they made Tech Doom. The last 3 techs before Tech Doom that come out have been Nimrod, Sam Wilson, and Omega Sentinel. Nimrod, for whatever reason, doesn't get affected at all by armor breaks. I think that's a huge no-no. So we'll not use him as an example. Sam Wilson, whenever his armor ups get nullified, they turn into passives. That way he has some way of countering nullify, and that only armor breaks can affect him, which is an ability that's known for the Cosmic class. Like that's like a core staple of the Cosmic class. And it's following the class wheel that Cosmic's counterattacks. Omega Sentinel is flat out nullify immune. So like no nullifies effector, and only armor breaks effector, just like, and again, that's an ability core to the Cosmic class. Tech Doom relies more on his personal armor up than any of the champs I just mentioned just now. His immunities are in there, his aura, which is the biggest thing about him, is in there. But a nullify and an armor up can affect his personal armor up, and that's just the issue I have with him, is that I just don't think he can be taken in as many places as you want to because of how crucial that is. Like they just changed the Alliance War nodes. Node 24, 25, and 26 have buffet, power snack, and crumbling armor. All abilities that affect his personal armor up, and that's huge for the champion if he gets countered that easily. And what I wanted to propose was either take his immunities out of the armor up, or make his armor up passive. That way, nullify doesn't affect him. I think if you made him nullify immune, that would be way too much.
hold on 1 second, please, because this is interesting. I want to get back to it. But I did want to say, awesome matchup to Lemmy. I just happened to get a ridiculous deck, and some stuff I tried went well for me. But that was a lot of fun. I'm definitely open to us matching again on another stream or sometime soon. And then Meta, if you were, I don't think Meta's still here. Is Meta still here? I'd love to match. Or if anyone else wants to match, let me know in the chat or on the call. All right, please go back to what you're saying about maybe potential changes to the armor up and why you're not a fan of the way it works right now.
Right. The changes I would make to the armor up, I think going nullify immune is too much because that makes him immune to nullify, which is huge.
Yeah.
But I think maybe changing his armor up from an active buff to a passive, meaning that only armor break can affect it, would be the way to go. Or instead of that change, if people think that's too much, and if the designers think that's too much, just take his immunities out of the just don't let his armor up affect his immunities. At the very least, if I can't use aura, I should be able to have access to immunities without the armor up. I think if they did one of those two changes, I'd be completely happy with Tech Doom.
So is it kind of in essence you feel like he's pardon the term here, but like neutered a little too easily?
Yeah, that's what I think so. Because like one thing, like for example, let's go back to AA or Rintra or whatever. One thing counters those champs and makes them completely useless, whereas many things counter Tech Doom and make him useless. And that's what I don't like. Because the reason I fell in love with Doom, let's forget about the base stats that are ridiculous, that should be nerfed. Forget about that. The one reason I fell in love with Doom is that if you were good enough, you can take him almost anywhere and do well. There weren't many nodes that put Petrify or Slow on you. Only champs could do that. And I guess that is a something that needs to be addressed, I guess. But there are many nodes that nullify buffs. There are many champs that nullify buffs. There are many champs that place armor breaks on buffs. There are nodes that put armor breaks on you. So I just feel like he's being neutered by a lot of the contest, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't have them, so I can't really talk too much about whether I agree with you or disagree with you. But I do feel like that is resonating with something that I've really talked about a lot with champions lately, and in them being like, I'm like, there was a time in this game where like if you just developed a matrix and you gave a score to all these various champion abilities and utility and all that stuff, I think that was incredibly worthwhile. But the game has become so complex, and like the nodes, like it's why on like my tier list, I probably have Hyperion pretty close to Hulkling. But if someone was trying to tell me I don't know which one to rank up, I would tell them Hulkling. Even though I think like I would probably give them relatively similar power level indexes, if you think of it that way. Because Hulkling's got these bits of utility, speaking of Hulkling, that are amazing for where the game is right now, being like defender abilities or nodes. And I feel like what I'm hearing a little bit here, should pay more attention to what I'm doing, is come on, click on Teddy, stupid. Is that like this is someone who maybe fits really well in like a power index, but there are so many nodes currently in the game or problems the game's currently throwing at us where you're just not going to be able to use him. Is that
exactly? That's literally what I'm saying. And the other thing that kind of like irks me, I'm not really mad about this, but I'm not like a fan of it, is that they released a Cosmic, right? Gallon. They released him.
Yeah.
And he's nullify immune.
Yeah.
A Cosmic that essentially counters like 90% of the Mystic class.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, the 2-3 techs before this had some way of countering losing their armor ups. Sam Cap and OS had ways of countering nullify. I just think that Tech Doom should either have that or just make his immunities constant no matter what, so that he can be used in more places without his armor up. That's all.
So you obviously don't watch my channel enough. You should watch it more. Because I've been commenting on this for like 6 to 7 or 8 months about the shifting relationship between Cosmics and Mystics. Mm-hmm. And how neutralize is becoming a bigger and bigger deal. That's why I wanted Wiccan. That's why none of this stuff surprises me.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was an intentional shout out for my own channel.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing with Nimrod, right? When he was released and armor breaks just didn't affect him at all.
Yeah.
And that's something that the Cosmic class has to counter the Tech class. because that's how the class wheel works, that's not something good. And you need to get rid of the source of that problem, which is nerf Magneto, who's a mutant that can counter every tech champ in the game. Well, not every tech champ, but you got the idea.
So, I want to speak to a couple points here. Having multiple ways to interact with Infamous Iron Man's abilities by removing his armor up could allow them to go a bit crazier with design. Because if you have more ways to shut down said character, you can go a bit crazier and have them be stronger in areas where you'd want to use them. A problem that Doctor Doom doesn't really have all too much currently in the game, hence why he's one of the most used characters in the game.
Yep.
And then what was the other thing you were talking about? Just before I started hopping in here.
Dude, I said like 30 things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
It was like a dissertation.
Like the most recent thing.
Oh, it was about Gallon being nullify immune?
No, not that one. I can't remember what the other part was.
Was it about Tech Doom?
No, it was something else. I was so fixated to remember that. But I did want to say that having numerous... Oh, Nimrod being armor break immune, or essentially armor break immune, that creates more design space for them. Because they can create cosmic champs who hit harder if the opponent has armor up effects, like Cersei, and Hercules is one. But that could create another area for them to create a different type of cosmic champ to counter Nimrod, which I don't think is a huge issue because there's ways around it, like True Strike, giving characters increased damage against the armor ups, true damage. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, that's a very valid feeling. It's like when Penny first came out and everyone lost their minds, like, oh my god, this tech champ is countering True Strike, all my cosmic champs are useless. And again, that is a valid argument what you're saying, and it's also valid the other way around. Like, I don't think there's like a right or wrong here. This is just a matter of opinion. It's just I guess I'm just not fond of seeing in any way a cosmic going up to Man-Thing, hitting him 4 times on block, throwing a special, and winning, because they completely counter every part of his kit. So I'm not a fan of that. I understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. And you were talking about how, like, if a champion has like a lot of weaknesses, right? Like, if this many things can neuter this champion, they can go crazy and make this champion super OP in the places where he does work. And I really don't think Infamous is that, if I'm honest. I really don't think he's this champ that like if you can use him, you should always use him. Or maybe that's a bit inaccurate, but like if you can use him, he's amazing. Because I think like outside of Bishop, I'm not sure where he would be like a top option for something, you know? His immunities are very unique, which is why I'm using him this war. But that's just for one fight, and I just don't see him being that champion where like, okay, he can be neutered a lot, but he's super OP outside of that. I just don't think he is, personally. And I could be wrong. He's new, so I don't want to like crap on him yet. But like we gotta play him a lot. People thought Spidey 99 when he first came out was rubbish, and then he ended up being like the best Alliance War champion ever. Yeah. So, you know, no matter how much you read abilities, you gotta always go into the field and test it. And I'm gonna be playing him a lot, hopefully, and I'll make my verdict in a season, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that was interesting. The just a couple things. One, great matchup there, Meta. You took me out pretty hard there. And that Spider Pig fight, holy smoke! Did everyone see that? That was a rank 3 6200 thing that he did that to. It was like 43 seconds, 53 seconds, I think. It is a rank 4 Spider Ham. I think I have time for one more, unless it goes super fast. And I see, I think I see Doug actually was the first one, and then Sweeta if you're still there, and then I don't know if we'll have time for all that. That's a rank 3 Spider Ham. I thought it was a rank 4. That was incredibly fast, dude. Aiden, do I have permission to come on call and discuss it? Yeah, sure, go for it. Let's only if you like, because I feel like as the host, I'm like, we got to balance this out, right? We got to balance it out.
I think he wants to come on and talk about Juggernaut.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna happen.
Go for it.
Sorry, B, what were you saying?
I do think Iron Doom's kit is going to age insanely well.
I hope so, man, because I have him. So
he has a lot of control, and I think he's going to age very well.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
go for it. Drop some knowledge on us.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say this. Literally every single argument you just made about iDoom being like hard countered by armor break is arguments that I've been spouting about Juggernaut and Annihilus for at least Juggernaut as long as he's been buffed, and Annihilus as long as I've had the 6-star at rank 2.
Well, the thing is, I don't mind being countered by armor break. I guess my main gripe is mainly being countered by nullify, because it didn't follow the trends of the tech champs that came before him. Samcap and OS counter nullify, and the armor breaks aren't as core to their gameplay as it is to Tech Doom.
Yeah.
So why can't Tech Doom have that? That's essentially my argument.
No, I get what you're saying for sure, and I mean that's kind of why I was a little bit upset about why Juggernaut got countered by every single non-damaging debuff, is because when he was first released, it seemed really, really excessive. Like, he's got phenomenal damage, and he's got the unstoppable buffs, which are basically like infinite counterpunch if you play him correctly. But he can't take on. I think I made a list when I initially was sorting through this.
Yeah,
there
you
are
did.
12 cosmic champions that he straight up cannot fight without being interrupted in one way or another. And sure, he's got that special 3 to have the unremovable gem for 25 seconds or something, but it's still awkward to play around. But he can't fight Terrax, he can't fight Null, he can't fight Surfer or Annihilus when he's unduped. Duped, he can maybe take them a little bit better. But there's just so many circumstances where champions, exactly what you were saying, champions that he would normally be able to do well against, or knows that he would normally be able to do well against, and all of a sudden he can't do that. He can't do those matchups because of crumbling armor or long distance relationship or something along those lines.
So I have a question for you. If Juggernaut wasn't completely destroyed by non-damaging debuffs in general, and he, let's say it was specific to a certain debuff type or a certain class that would shut him down, let's say science, how do you think he'd rank in terms of other Mystic characters?
Top 10 with top 5 potential.
Okay, because I could see his playstyle and his kit being top 5.
Yeah.
With the amount of power he has, and that's another thing I want to point out is that they want that level of. I mean, I'm not speaking for the devs. I would assume that they want that level of interaction there just in case, so they can go a little bit more crazy with the character's design. Because Juggernaut could drop 90k special 2s consistently against ideal matchups.
I'm trying to think now. I think with class advantage, he's hitting, probably around that number. Probably a little bit over it, actually. Yeah, but no, you're
and
definitely right.
The constant unstoppable is crazy utility, like you mentioned. Again, I don't know if we'll see these characters performing how we'd want them to right away, but I think they will age pretty well.
If I could interject, one question, Aiden. You were talking about how Cosmics kind of destroy Juggernaut. It kind of goes the other way around instead of Juggernaut destroying Cosmics because they place an armor break, which is a non-damaging debuff.
Yeah.
If they were, let's say they were to tweak Juggernaut, right? And basically only non-damaging debuffs from the Science class were to nerf him. Would you say that's a suitable... Would you be happy with that change?
I'd say that's too OP.
Too OP.
If I'm being honest here, there is... Okay. The only way that I would say that Juggernaut would feel top 5 and still be reasonably balanced is if they just omitted the Cosmic class.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that's actually a good change. I agree with that.
Yeah. Because
I personally do think that's a little too strong still.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious just how OP he'd be for Battlegrounds, because Swadia and I were talking in Vega's chat about this, about how Juggernaut has been absolutely insane for us in Battlegrounds and other specific matchups, because he's not the traditional Mystic in that sense. So his buff control isn't the best, especially unduped, but he's taking things like Killmongers and Molemans and what did they use him against the other day? Oh, I'm trying to remember now. He's taking things that you normally wouldn't expect a Juggernaut to take. He took a Kitty Pryde the other day. In that sense, if he was expanded, for sure he'd be ridiculously strong. But at the same time, it feels unfortunate because if the goal was to buff characters so they feel better to play for newer players, which is what Kabam John was hinting at when they first announced the buff, then you've got a Mystic that doesn't counter a lot of Cosmics.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to interrupt just for a minute, catch people up to kind of what's going on. What's up, Neto? This was Slayer versus Sleimon. That ended a bit ago. Sleimon was able to defeat Slayer, and now we're letting people just kind of vent.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
This is therapy session.
I'm just kidding. We're letting people. We're having,
Slayer, literally the exact same argument about the armor break stuff is the same case with the Nihilist as well. So like Juggernaut, yeah, I can kind of see he's got some really, really massive potential, but a character like a Nihilist in a class like the Cosmic class, for people who maybe aren't familiar in chat or yourselves, I don't know how much you guys have played around with this, but
None.
yeah, okay, so the way that an Nihilist's control rod works is that whenever a buff would be nullified, the control rod instead is nullified.
Yeah.
So it's a situation where armor breaks are able to remove the rod. And the reason why that works is because armor breaks technically count as a nullify effect, but exclusively for armor up buffs.
Yep.
So
But if you have no armor up, do they still remove the rod?
it doesn't matter, it still removes the rod.
That's a bit annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've mentioned this a lot and probably excessively, but yeah, literally in that situation, because a Nihilist doesn't naturally gain armor up buffs aside from like a synergy or something like that, but if he gets armor broken, he's screwed. And if you think about some tech champions, like Warlock is like an ideal example, because normally the strategy with Warlock, right, is you want to push into special 2s. A Nihilist, when he's got the rod active, is power control immune, so it's like it's kind of all over the place in that sense.
So that's why CGR is really good against a Nihilist.
Well, you'd still be good with it with the Fate Seal.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, but like it's the same deal as like a Killmonger versus what is it? Like a Killmonger versus CGR interaction. It's the exact same thing. It's like the armor break is active, and then all of a sudden a Nihilist can't do anything for the rest of the fight because you're constantly just like making sure it stays down. Yeah, that is infamous. Hello.
we talk instead about Penny throwing 3 SP1s into my block.
Yeah, that's always fun.
I've been watching this with my jaw down,
Yeah.
like partially.
No, that was in all seriousness. We're just kind of having a high level discussion about Sleimon's got a rank 4 Iron Doom. I'm going to continue to butcher his name. I can tell.
You almost said Immortal Doom, didn't you?
I almost said Immortal Doom again. We're going to be like we're going to be on 8 stars, and I'll still be saying like I'll be calling him Immortal Iron Fist.
There's probably going to be an Immortal Doom by the time 8 stars come around. So.
I think I got time for one more. I can't remember if it was Suida or Nah who.
Let me scroll up.
I think it was Suida. I'm pretty sure you said Suida first.
Okay,
I think you did as well.
is Suida still there?
Yeah, it was Suida.
Trying to
By
remember
like
how
a
far
couple
back.
seconds, probably.
How far back was it though?
One thing I do agree about is that Iron Doom's immunity should be tied to his base kit and not the armor up.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, if they just made that change, I wouldn't really mind the armor up thing as much. But I just feel like they put too much into the armor up and then made too many things counter it. You know, it was like a kind of double thing. If they just tweak one, I'm happy. But like look at Silver Centurion, right?
I was just about to ask, yeah, it's like how much of his kit is tied to the armor up buff versus Iron Doom?
Well, I think it's just mainly the immunities. But
Yeah,
it's such
just
like
the immunities.
it's such a not fun thing, if that makes sense, to have.
I
Is
get
when
that.
you tie your immunities to a buff.
Yeah.
And I'd rather not have that for the game because it's more fun to just have it in your base kit and not really worry about, oh no, am I gonna poison to death because I don't have my immunity anymore, you know?
Yeah.
You know, he may have had to go. You're still there? Okay. I'll reset my game. Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah.
But no, like I have not had as much time to playtest Iron Doom as I have Juggernaut and the Nihilist, so I don't know like just how limited he is. So I will absolutely defer to you in that sense. But I do know that there are characters that exist in the game right now that suffer from that same problem. So I'm
Well, it doesn't
sure.
have to be
yeah.
the same problem in terms of like an armor break shuts a character down, but there are always like the checks and balances, and it's all about how the devs will want this character to interact with the rest of the game. That being said, having a lot of their kit interact with a single thing, and you could shut it off by getting rid of that single thing, gives them a ton of safety to go insanely crazy with the kit. Not saying that's what they did with Iron Doom, but it could be like a knee-jerk reaction to not create another Doctor Doom like the one that's in the Mystic class.
Right.
And I mean, there's nothing saying they won't tune him accordingly, right? Like the rebalancing program, we haven't really, it's been 4 champions now that have not been touched over rebalancing, so we really just have no idea what this could look like still.
Yeah, I know. And even if he's not rebalanced, I'm happy to have him, and I think other people will absolutely be happy to have him. Again, like, if he doesn't get touched, or if he does get rebalanced, great. If he doesn't, he's still great. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people were surprised Wong didn't get rebalanced, and I think we're starting to see why that's the case now, because people are just... Well, Jinx in the Battlegrounds chat sent a couple of videos of Wong doing some pretty impressive fights in Battlegrounds. Yeah. Anyways, but it's situations where, like, the rebalancing program may not, like... We don't know what it'll look like in a lot of cases like that, and if Iron Doom ends up in my account, then I'll probably end up ranking him, and I'll probably see for myself exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'd laugh pretty hard if he got nerfed, though. That'd be funny.
Who, Iron Doom?
Yeah, well, like, sad laughters, like
oh, man.
Coping laughters.
I personally think he's kind of safe.
Yeah,
I think he's safe. I think he's safe. I think the only one, and I'm sorry, Vega, I think the only one that's actually legitimately at risk of getting a nerf is Gallon.
Oh, Gallon? Okay.
Yeah, I think Hulkling is the next closest for sure.
Nah, I think Hulkling's fine.
Yeah, like, it's tough to say.
Speaking of Hulkling a little bit, I mean, I can't, but he has a couple hard counters, but there's tons of ways to soft counter his kit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's safe because of that.
Yeah.
I think we're just kind of breaking the ice on that, too.
Yeah. Because now we could see, like, if Hulkling's fine, well, Rincha was fine, and if Hulkling's fine, we could see we could see what's kind of, acceptable in their eyes.
Honestly, Rincha not getting nerfed was, like, I'm not saying I was expecting it, but I think it was, like, the closest we got to a nerf.
So far, yeah. Though I think Scorpion was, like, on that bubble a little bit too, or at least, like, on offensive capabilities, because he's really easy to play. Like, his skill ceiling is low, like, in terms of, like, I don't know, the heavy charging into special thing, like, takes some adjustment for sure, but the skill floor for him was not very high, the skill ceiling for him was not very high, and then the damage he could do was still nuts.
Yeah, I do hope that they don't knee-jerk and react to what they're seeing with Gallon right now, because a lot of us are thinking that he's, insanely OP, and he's very strong, but keep in mind this Battlegrounds meta is designed for him to be insanely strong.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get nerfed, if I'm honest.
Well, I think it's more just kind of how easy it is to ramp up to max, max planetary mass before triggering the harvest. Like, we're seeing in Battlegrounds, sure, some crazy numbers, but they're from, like, rank 3s, rank 4s, and it's like, like you said, the meta is built for him.
Yeah.
But if we're talking, like, outside of Battlegrounds, like a couple of war videos that Vega's posted where he's, like, just tossed a special one out of, like, relative, I don't want to call it desperation necessarily, but, like, as a gamble, and it just does an insane amount of damage that would have killed if he, like, started off by that.
It wasn't a gamble. That was well played theatrics. I do that for the crowd.
I think it's just Kabam making uses for champions they release. Like, this has been especially true with Gallon. He came out, and then they threw him into the defense tactic immediately, and then they kind of released a path for him in war. Yeah. That's very good. Yeah. And then they released Bulwark with explosive personality, which is also very good. Yeah. I think that's just Kabam making uses for him. So right now, he looks ridiculously good. But, like, later on the line, when they change stuff up, maybe his uses go down. So.
Yeah.
I do think they will be very good at monitoring all the data they're getting, so they don't make a knee-jerk reaction based on what they've set up.
Yeah. Like, I don't think he's Herc Kitty level of broken, for sure. I don't think that. Yeah. Do I think he's top 3 in his class? Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree there.
Really? Hold on.
Yeah.
I look at the cosmic class.
Yeah, Gallon's nuts, dude.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, he's pre-Galactus.
Yeah, I think he's the best.
Refused the
power-
Galactus riddle.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he's the best like power control resistant champion.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
immune to- I think he's immune to all avenues of it,
Yeah.
even
think
special
that-
lock.
I'm trying to think if steel is fine. Burn, drain, lock, and special lock. So he still gets affected by steel, but that's a really rare and like specific type thing. Like we won't see that for nodes, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that allows the champion interactions to shine.
Actually, no. There's one power steel node.
Which one?
The one where it's like you switch power bars when. That one, yeah. So I think they should buff
weird.
Gallon to counter that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a natural reaction. Yeah. sorry.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think he is. He probably is top 3. Her Corvus
Yeah.
Gallon.
I don't think we.
Uh oh.
No,
Aiden, you're on the call with the wrong person here.
I know. I know. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about it, but I am like very much not a fan of Corvus. I'll leave
No,
it.
that's
at that.
fine. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
know what he said.
Poor Vega.
Oh,
He's probably like, why the hell did I let these clowns take over the stream?
No. This is fun.
Well, I really hope we do see some more power steel mystics. I think that's really interesting. Like, doesn't Hood with his Sig ability do that too?
Yep, and Symbiote Supreme does as well on his special too. Symbiote Supreme's one of the better counters to Gallon because Gallon's not immune to stagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Symbiote Supreme's nuts.
Hey, real quick,
I'm really
real-
glad I
real-
decided to rank 3 mine.
If you guys don't mind letting me talk for a second.
I don't know, man.
I just want like 10 seconds, if that's okay with you guys. That was all the crit resistance on Killmonger, right? Like
Yeah.
that's why. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't. I was like, what the hell? And I thought I managed the reverb better, but it clearly didn't. That was brutal.
Well, you were at an SP3 the whole time. Wait, hold on. I forgot whose power affects Killmonger.
I thought it was
It's not
Killmonger's.
His own power.
Oh, his own power. Oh, yeah, he was at SP1 and SP2 a lot of the time because you kept taunting him.
But it's when it reverb triggers, right? That's why I kept trying to put him low. I mean, I obviously did a bad job, but I didn't think I did that bad.
It's really just Starkey being frail, and if that Killmonger's decent Sig, then that's a lot of reverb damage
Yeah.
regardless.
I will say, I think Sweetest Nova's not doing what you're supposed to. Nova, go to place, girl. You're making me look bad on TV, girl.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Nova in game.
Oh no, no.
Oh man.
What happened?
Game crash.
Game's like bye bye. They're like, you tell Nova the dog what to do, we crash you.
Well, you could just claim that you weren't gonna lose that round, and
Oh, I never was. There's no chance. Oh, and they gave her full health back
Wake her
too.
up.
Oh, yeah, okay, so that, I guess the restart thing is still in place, I guess.
oh yeah, if the game crashes, you can what's it called?
Yeah, you can let it reopen itself.
Oh,
yeah.
you're saying the restart thing? I don't think anyone does that anymore because the health pools are so big.
I think, yeah, like, as a strategy, it's no longer something that people are using, but...
Actually,
does seem
probably
like-
with this meta, because of Mighty Charge and people running recoil and protect bugs, I think people are actually doing it now that you mention it. That's why I'm not hopping on ranked.
I have not touched Gladiator Circuit for 2 reasons, really. Like, one is because I've seen, like, the number of modder screenshots, like, go up in people that are in the Gladiator Circuit. And 2 is I also don't have the second deck unlocked yet.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. I don't feel like putting together a spreadsheet for different metas at the moment. I'm kind of burnt out on that side.
All right. Well, at least we can all rest assured Sweeta probably wins that matchup anyway. So that's good, even with the time.
Oh wait, I've been watching your stream instead of your Discord stream.
All right.
Yeah, same here, actually.
I do have to go. Nice matchup, Sweeta. That was fun, buddy. Your deck's getting pretty scary. Still not parallel to your skills, but it's getting pretty scary, my friend. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It sounds just like I think Sweeta was saying they might go tomorrow. So that is a really tough group. I'm looking forward to watching that matchup. Incredibly high skills and a deck that's starting to get close to matching it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We got the amazing donation from OG Highline, and I think it was Dirty Pickle, something like that. No worries, buddy. It's not your fault the game crashed. It just happens. It's as likely to happen to you as to me. And you just kicked my butt. It happens. Amazing performance from Slayer of Gods and Sleimon. Make sure you check out their channels. They've been linked in the top of the chat there this whole time. Thank you for being on call. BMcG, Slayer of Gods, Sleimon, and Ulysses Anti-Venom on the server. And
Yeah,
Aiden. I go with Agatron still because that's the name of your channel. Make sure you check all of those out. We'll go Slay, Slayer, BMcG, and then Aiden. You guys take us out.
Sorry for rambling.
Oh, dude, that was all a joke. I enjoyed listening to you guys.
All right, then I'm not sorry for rambling. Goodbye.
All right.
I gave a pretty hardcore like outro, so I don't want to do that again.
All right.
CGR stands for Corvus Glaive Replacement. Okay, bye.
Oh god, I'm deaf.
Oh, I'm next.
It's you. Yeah.
It's the worst thing ever.
So stop.
For anyone wondering, this was a new variant of Wonder Woman. It was a pretty good comic. It wasn't amazing, but it was good. Anyways, BMcG and then Agatron.
Thanks for having me on call. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry to for Slay and Agatron. Sorry to play dev in terms of giving you guys the feedback on how they would, how their thought process affects it. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little insight there on what I think might be the case. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
I appreciated that, man.
Yeah, me too, actually. One of the reasons why I've kind of taken a different perspective on a lot of things is I've talked a lot with a few people in the MCoC Futurism Society on Twitter, and they've got a different perspective on that. But anyway, sorry.
Don't go 20 minutes into this topic.
I'm not doing it. We're good. I wanted to say thank you again for having me on call, Vega, and yeah, I guess I'm going to be checking out tomorrow's stream as well. Swadia makes a massive amount of rank ups, so I'm worried. Anyways, thank you again.
Yeah. Hi guys.
Vega, it's now your turn.
Oh, I think he's playing a joke on us.
He probably muted all of us. It's either that or it's Old Man Vega again.